welcome back to the False Prophets Podcast. I'm Phil Risden.
It's your boy, Manny.
And we have a lot to talk about today. Mr. Elon Musk, the Willy Wonka of rich people, has officially bought Twitter. What's good?
Yo, for real.
I know. This is crazy.
Congrats to him, but what the fuck does that mean for us?
Well, it means you can say the N-word as much as you want. As we all know. As we all know.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
I exactly remember that's how Twitter was before. Then they tried to like PC it, and now he's like, nah, let's bring all that shit back.
Yeah, let's bring it all
like,
back.
That's just fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is what it is. But you know what, though? If that's the toll you have to pay to have things be completely open, I would say I'm willing to pay it. I don't really give a fuck. I think it's an awful thing, yes, but at the same time, right now we're having is just a bump in explicit language from people just being like, we can finally say it, and then, all those people who just sent one out today or whatever. Yeah. A week from now, they probably won't be. You know what I mean? Unless they get into some altercation with a dude who's, black or something. But mostly they won't be doing that. Yeah. And I think it's kind of good. I've always had this whole notion where it's like, if somebody's racist, if they like using certain words or whatever,
exploit that shit.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it, and now I know not to fuck with you.
Now I know not to fuck with you. Now I know not to hire you. Now I know to fire you.
Yeah, and that's all. That's literally all that's going to happen.
Like that, I do agree on it.
It's a tough pill to swallow. I know, but literally that is all that's gonna happen.
I saw that. What's his name? The dude that we don't know if he's black or not.
Oh, Sean King.
Sean King.
Yeah.
I saw he posted a bunch of it.
He didn't know whether to be offended or not.
Exactly.
This is a really hard time for me. I don't know what I'm going through.
It's a hard time for me. which
Pray for me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it's wild, but I feel like, yes, this whole period, this whole regime change, essentially, is going to have growing pains. But I think this is what all of it should be. I think, when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to any sort of social media, yes, they are private companies, but it's gotten to the point where social media has started so many things that are essential to life. I mean, social media, Twitter was the thing that helped jumpstart the military coup in Egypt. About 8 to 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, these things have like real world implications, and these are how people can freely speak to start things in their own countries and creative ventures and shit. So yeah, like, you're a private company, but it's like at this point it's almost like a utility like water or electricity. Right. And I think everyone, no matter what country they are in, has a right to have that.
It's freedom of speech, but like with
the computer.
With the computer, but also with like, it's just like, just know that whatever the fuck you say is going to bring consequences. So if you're down to go through those consequences, fucking go for it.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, freedom of speech doesn't mean you're free from accountability. Everybody says that. And that's the truth. It's like these kids who are writing that right now, if they don't delete those tweets, right? Then, whoever is going to be employing them in the future is going to look through their Twitters and this, that, and the third and go through it, and they're going to see it, and they're either going to care enough to fire them or not. And that's all the world should really be.
I get it, but now it's just like, now you really can't cancel anyone in a sense, but then you still could. But then it's just like, it's constantly, they're going to constantly say freedom of speech, but the whole accountability thing, but it's just like, so what the fuck is the whole point of buying Twitter? I think it's all going to just like circle back around, and they're like, oh, if this is what Twitter was for, then fuck this, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say? I think I'm wording it wrong, but
you think you think liberals are going to quit Twitter and make their own liberal Twitter?
Most likely.
I don't think so. I think, because the thing about liberals is, and I'm a liberal person, but the thing about the liberal tribe is that they like talking a lot of things, but they don't ever like physically doing anything to enact any actual change. So I don't think any liberals are going to break off and make their own app. And I think if they did, they wouldn't even have anything to go up against. I think Twitter, the villain of Twitter, is this shady dark side that everybody sees, that a lot of liberal people can talk about and discuss, and it creates their own hive of bullshit within themselves. If they don't have that villain, you know what I mean? If they don't have the guy who tweets the inappropriate thing on Twitter, will their Twitter even exist?
Twitter was just pissing me the fuck off even way before Elon Musk bought that shit.
I haven't written on Twitter in over a year, but I've looked on Twitter today. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's how I feel like a lot of people do with Twitter and all these other things too.
Twitter's weird.
So it's like these things have no control.
I never really like. I've been tweeting in a sense, but it's just after a while I was just like, what's the point of this? I read through it. I answer back and stuff, but then it's just like I realize that I just can't fuck with social media like that because I get angry at people.
Yeah. And Twitter also too. It's like it's really just a bunch of sociopaths feeding the algorithm. So what works with Twitter is having a hot take, no matter what that hot take is. Just some sort of weird thing that it could be liberal, it could be very conservative, it could be middle of the road, whatever. But in some way, grabbing people's attention and kind of having some like alternative point of view that's going to get people really riled up. People learned like, oh, if I have regular conversations, it doesn't work. I don't get likes. And if I have that, I get thousands of them. So they just do it. They don't actually believe in any of the things that they say. Case in point, right? I'm on Twitter and there is a news article at first, right? And it's of this, it says like 80-year-old woman goes missing. And then under it says, found in stomach of python.
Oh, python, yeah.
And it was so like I guess they're in like Cambodia, and I go through the whole thing, and eventually I found like a video of them killing the snake, and then a video of them cutting the snake open and getting the woman out of it, and all this shit. And you hear the people crying and this, that, and the third, and everyone's upset clearly. And then under one of the replies, somebody goes like, "What was really the point of killing the snake, though?" That was one of the replies of the thing.
Okay.
Obviously, we know the point.
Yes.
The point of killing the snake is because it's a man-eating snake, number one. Number two, there's a family who's grieving,
mother in there
who wants to bury the snake alive.
Exactly.
Right?
What the fuck?
And I'm like...
Somebody really said that?
And I'm clicking on it. I'm getting mad, right? And I'm like kind of upset and everything. But the first reply was some meme with like a cop in it. And it was like, stop right here. Don't reply to this reply. They're simply trying to get you to react, which is exactly what it was. I feel like Twitter quite often too can be like that, but with liberalism. So you have a lot of people who aren't being honest, who are just trying to get a reaction. Right. So if you are a liberal person, you're a regular liberal person. You're just like, hey, everybody who's whoever should all have respect for each other, right? But when you get on Twitter, you say anybody who doesn't say he/him to this specific person on site, whether or not they know that this person's trans or not, should die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing with conservative people. Like, hey, maybe you're conservative fiscally, and you're just like, yeah, I think people should stand on their own. But when you're on Twitter, you go, well, like fucking Sandy Hook was all bullshit, because you get so sucked into it, and you want to basically react to all these other people.
Because you know that there is a crowd for you. And that's going to agree with that type of shit.
Well, that's not just going to agree, but that's just going to that's going to support your influence.
That's dangerous.
Everybody wants to feel important, like they're a celebrity. So it supports your influence to be that toxic. And I feel like Elon Musk giving people not being able to be taken off of Twitter, or not giving these people too much power, I think balances the scales in a bizarre way.
But I going back to what you said, because I kind of like disagree, and I also agree with the whole censorship, and now it's uncensored. Because you gotta see the dangers behind it. And it's true, like what you said, like, give these people basically the platform, the stage that they want, and then we're just gonna get rid of them.
Exactly.
But essentially, like, Twitter isn't going to get rid of them.
No.
It's just going to keep giving them that stage, and then like the next man is going to read this, and if that person agrees with it, it's going to go. It's like a whole cycle, and just like that little game.
Good, because Twitter shouldn't have to do the work.
Man,
we should have to do the work.
Yeah, but
do you understand that there used to be this thing called evolution, where it's just like the weak would fall off and the strong with actual minds would keep going. That's all that's happening socially. Yeah. And if you're too fucking stupid to discern that this person or that person is toxic to your life, you know what I mean? Then fuck you. Then you get lost in the cults.
Yeah.
You end up in Jamestown wearing fucking the same sneakers as 80 other rooms because you drank Kool-Aid. Fuck you. Cares? Who cares?
I think the only thing is just it just pisses me off, because it's just like,
us, we have common
sense. Right?
I want Andrew Tate as a guest on this podcast. That's what I'm saying. Hello, Sneeko.
Nah, man, but it's just that. Like when like me, like I think I'm a person that, has a lot of common sense.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then just to know that there's people that stupid out there
Yes.
and you're giving them this fucking stage is just pissing me off. But whatever, I just gotta put my foot in my mouth and just see, cause
well, you just
let's
have
see
to.
what's gonna happen.
I think what you just have to do is just not engage with that stupid person, or give a rebuttal to that stupid person. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I think there, that stupid person shouldn't just simply be removed because he resonates with other stupid people.
Yeah.
They're stupid. That's their fault. If they want to go around and do some shit that ends up getting them killed or getting them rounded up and put in prison or this that, and the third, good. Fuck them. You were telling me about a certain friend. I don't know whether or not he watches this, but you were telling me about a certain friend who believed in certain different types of rhetorics and stuff like that and everything. And, they were searching for things, and now they learned that those things that they were searching for were stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
And they don't need,
I know what
they don't need brain training wheels to have somebody be like, no.
Yeah.
You need your girlfriend to leave you and be like, hey, I'm not wearing fucking satin robes in the street. Okay? Fuck you. I don't care. And I'm taking your baby because you're an idiot. That's what you need. People can't grow up now. It's so fucking gross. Be an adult. Please. Can you please be an adult?
Oh, man.
Fucking Christ.